Hello and welcome. Florida NASCAR Boys News. We're back. It's changed a lot. I have not been on here for a while, so right now we are here because we are now here today. We're going to break down Chicagoland. Chicagoland's got a lot. Chicago, basically, we're going. I'm sorry about Chicagoland. I'm talking about Chicago. The streets of Chicago. Let me pause that. So we're talking about the streets of Chicago. Overall, the race of the street of Chicago was so good. SVG didn't want it in 23, and then back in 25. So basically, he would almost want it in 24. But now, let's break down all the news. Mike McDowell ran so good, he had some mechanical problems overall. But overall, it was a good race. But so far, let's go down to the final lap, the last 10 laps. The last 10 laps overall were good. But we had Bubba Wallace and Bowman going at each other. That was a good dogfight. That was creating rivalry between those two guys. Now, the other part is, too, now, after the race, now we got the CBD coming into investigating this between those two guys. They were both racing. That was a boys. That's how boys are. Back in the old days, you fight, you spin a driver out. It was a race incident. So what else? They were fighting for positions. It's the end season challenge. So you have that. So the other part is now, NASCAR's now investigating that until we get news about that between those two. Will Bubba get fined or Bowman will get fined for intentional wrecking? Or it would just say a race incident and over that. But those two were finding it out the last 10 laps. Right now, we have Ross Chastain and Joe Logano. These two had a heated fight after the race. So overall, those two guys may have a heated up after in Sonoma. Because what will Ross Chastain do to Logano? We don't know. But overall, it's good. But right now, we have all eyes right now on Cody Ware. His wreck, final lap, going into the finals lap turn. They were racing Cody Ware and Ross Chastain. No, Cody Ware. Let's go. I'm leaving Ross Chastain out of it. Sorry about that, guys. But I'm saying, let's look at Cody Ware. Cody Ware's wreck. I was live on NASCAR Sirius XM today with Danielle and Larry. I'll go back on there later today with Rowdy. Overall, Cody Ware, if you look at his inboard camera, they didn't have cameras around turn 6 coming out of turn 5. Actually, coming out of turn 5 they did, but going all the way down. But turn 6 they didn't have any. Because they were rocking it down the backstretch, down that turn 6 backstretch. But then you go into turn 6. Cody Ware, if you look on his inboard camera, his brake broke. Right on him. Something broke on his car. Loud and clear. He went, because he was right against the wall. He went to that wall, got the car close to that wall, tried to slow it down, but it was still going so fast, he went into the tire barriers. Even SVG and Ty Gibbs and Tyler Reddick were coming out of the final turn, take the white flag. They reached the white flag. Cody Ware went straight into the wall. His brake broke. That's what I'm leaning on towards. Because we have carbon fiber brakes, we have aluminum brakes, we have all this brakes. But that was the severest heartbreaking wreck I have ever seen from Cody Ware. He took on so many crashes, but that one, whoo, hard hit. Look, that was a hard lick into the wall. So, I think what NASCAR should do is to look into that more on that brake and his system, so they can don't have that again from the next race. Even the cameras, what Larry was saying about the cameras earlier today, they even had a 32-second pause right there on the studio. If you like, right now, if we waited, right now starts in 3, 2, 1. All right. So what you saw here, we were dead silent for 32 seconds right there. 32 seconds. Think of that. That was a huge lag what Larry was testing on his thing. I tested on here with you guys. 32 seconds. They should have thrown the flag out overall, but they could have thrown the flag out. Cody would not get out of that turn. They would have had a green-white checker, and basically SVG would have a huge upset by Ty Gibbs or Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick would have upset him real good at Chicago. I mean, literally. Restart, green, white checker, Cody Rare, Ty Gibbs in the front, then followed by Tyler Reddick. Those two guys would have gone. If you look at Tyler Reddick right now, he was hauling from getting new tires. His last pit stop, he was hauling towards the front, try to catch up to SVG. And basically, overall, it was a good race. But let's just think here: what can NASCAR do if a car goes into the tire barriers? One, if the car went so deep in that tire barrier up to the windshield, you could not get that car out. So that basically, you were stuck. You could have thrown caution out. But, 2, wait 30 seconds. Call caution out. While the leaders get to the white flag. Could have called it. Then they said, no. He was not going to get out of that wall. I'm straight up. He was not going to get out of that wall. So, right now, with Cody Rare, right now we're going into Sonoma. Sonoma, you got more runoff areas. So that's good. But, out of part 2 is, you're going uphill, you're going to end a blind spot until you get down to 7A. Basically, when you're going up that hill, then you're going into turn 4 with that sharp turn, and then you get down to the 7A turn in Sonoma. You can't even see them until you get down to 7A, until you see them coming down to the S's. That's you could see them from. Even now, where they're at, it's a heartbreak right now. Because right now we don't know if Coda is going to be back on the schedule. Chicago, we know Sonoma is going to be back on the schedule. And Watkins Glen. We don't know about the Roval. The Roval can change anytime. They can go back to the Oval if they want, because then it will have phenomenal racing at night. That's what I want from the NASCAR. If they go back to if they move back to the Oval on Charlotte Speedway. So, other part is too, what's the other part? Because Coda, you used to run the full layout. The F1 layout. Basically, the Grand Prix layout. You're going up the turn, all the way up the tight turn, and then you got that long backstretch down to Coda. We only have 6 road courses on the schedule. We went to Mexico. That was a good race. Overall. After Carson Hofsvard made comments on his Twitch one time, and Spyro fined him after that. So, overall, it's something. But then let's look into the first 5 laps into the Chicago race. Carson Oswald was running pretty good. He tried to get close to that wall and get it out of there, and then get back to the outside wall. But he was so close to that inside wall, he hit it and then sling him outside to the wall, and caused that huge pile up with the 6, 3, and all the others guys. When I was listening to Austin Dillon's radio, Austin Dillon said Carson Hocevar is the dumbest in the sport. Well, that's Carson Hocevar for you, okay? He's a young worker. He's a young guy. You were the same thing too, Austin. So what else? We just gotta deal with it. When we come in the Cup Series, we gotta deal with stuff. Gotta suck it up and deal with it. But overall, that Chicago race was okay. So I was expecting from NASCAR, when we go into Sonoma, it's gonna be okay. But there's gonna be a lot of breaks we have to deal with. Even when we had Harvick car exploded, when all that stuff got into his car, blew up the car, it got on flames. What we're seeing here right now, if we look at the next car, if we go back to another street course, if we look right now, this rumor the San Diego street course deal, we gotta see this, because what we need to learn from Chicago race, if we go back onto the San Diego tracks. So yes, it's raining here at my place, so forgive me. But overall, even that thunder earlier when we were doing our 32-second pause right there. Think of that. And overall, we need to have improvement we have to probably have some cameras in the blind areas so we can see them. Plus, we have 40 cars in-cam cameras too. That one we have to keep an eye on too, because sometimes they have the records on those cars too. Since you went, I was watching the inboard camera a couple minutes ago on the Cody rear, so my girlfriend, the N4 camera, she was like, yeah, I agree with you. So yeah. But Daniel agreed with me on the NASCAR. They had it on there. Everything. NASCAR could have looked at that inboard camera, that too, but they didn't have the blind cam. They had no cameras in turn 6, coming out of turn 6, going into turn 6. But once you get over that hill, but so straight up, if we look at right here, if we look at Chicago, give me a second here, guys. I'm going to pause this for a minute on this record. Alright, you guys see me. So, we got right here. Sorry about that. If you guys look right here. Let me adjust my brightness. Hold on. Now, if you guys look right here. We got the Chicago street course layout, right? So, yeah. So, we have a camera right here. Camera right there. Camera right over there. Going down this way. Here. Then to here. Cody was coming out of these turns. So right there. So, if we had Cody coming out of turn 5. So the brake gave up right about there. Since you guys can see it. But I'll put a little dot here. I'll dark this in right there. Where's that mark is? That's probably where the brake went out. Because literally, that's where he hit the wall. He hit the wall so hard. Right there. Where that dot is. Because Cody Ware got against this wall right here, the outside wall. Because that wall, there was not a lot of turnoffs around this area, in this area. So, 40 cars cameras. His brake went off right there. Somewhere mid, right there. And then hit that wall so head on right into turn 6. So, with Carson Hosvard, he went deep into this turn right here. If we look, this is the tightest turn right here with Carson. Carson got close to that inside wall. Got close to right there. Right there. And then bounced off in the outside wall and caused that pileup right there. Because if you look right now, if I right now rewatch NASCAR right now, I can give you the camera's layouts. Let's do that. I did the highlights. All this right here. You have cameras all over. Why you have a camera right down here in turn 6? Can both watch this right here and that. Clearly, if I saw Cody bust a brake right down there, I could have caught that. I mean, literally, brake bust right there on Cody Rare. That sent him almost about. See how much fast he was going into that car. I'm gonna go on board right now, watching that again. Let's see. So right now, I'm bringing it up on my phone. So he felt almost 7 G's. So let's look right now at it. Let's go right now on board with him. Listen to this. Watch this wreck. So, let's see here. He was about... Okay, so he was in... Coming out of turn 5. Right now we're watching. He was coming out of turn 5. Hold on. I can't even do stuff because my girlfriend's on my other phone. But, hold on. Thank you. So. He was up in almost, he hit. Brake went out when he was at 136 miles an hour. So, brake went out 136 miles an hour in 4th gear. So, almost 7 G's. So let's look here. I know you can't see my writing, but right there. Brakes went out 136 G's. At 136! And his RPM was 7,000... About 7,190 RPMs. And he was in 18th. So, if we look, he was in 18th. We could see, I think he was right behind.
He's been locking up.
He hit the wall around 120. So we're watching this right now. Who's right behind him? Carson hosts Chris Buescher. We're going to go on board with Chris Buescher. I can see this wreck. Brakes went out.
He's been locking up a lot of corners I see on the TV.
So he collided with the tire barriers about at... Watching our miles right there. He hit the wall at 119. Turn car into the wall. At 119 miles an hour. That's when he got the car into the wall. So, keeping it against the wall, slowing it down to about, he was at 90. So he almost hit the wall about at 90 miles an hour. Hit the tire burrs at 90. miles he collided into the tire barriers. 90 miles.
Probably just got a flat spot on the left front.
$90 an hour. Let's go on board with see Chris Buescher. See how he saw that wreck. Because Chris Buescher was right behind him, too.
Pretty loud and clear there.
We're going to go right now to the final lap on him. This is something. I like seeing something here. He's right in Cody Rhodes right in front of him. Okay. Okay, 10 to go. Change. 5 to go.
Go back on it. Nope.
Okay, let's watch. Cody's right in front of him.
Clear by 5.
Brake went out. Bam, right there. Brake went out. You can see it right now. Chris Buescher was right behind him. I can see it. So NASCAR's got to look at Chris Buescher because it's right there on it. Chris Buescher's in-car cam. Like glittery. All right there. If you guys can't see it, it's right there. I'll show you guys right here. It's right here. Here we are. You see?
Clear by 5.
Watch. Right about there where Cody Ware's car went out. Watch where Cody's Ware car. Bam. Right there. It's right there. And you could look at Chris Buescher's car, too. It's literally right there. In front of you guys. NASCAR. Right there in front of you guys. That's how you can find it. Basically, what you need to do, you can't find it, look at your only two options. You can't see it on, you can't catch it on TV cameras. So what? One option is look at indoor car cams. In-car cams. In-car cameras. That's your number one option. You had it right there in front of you. I'm not bragging on you guys, but that right there is the truth right there. You could see it. Then you guys like, okay, we got our evidence, right? Got the indoor in-car cameras right there. Chris Buescher was right behind Cody Ware. Right there behind him. All caught on camera. Because if you look, your camera's right here on the passenger side. And then Cody Ware's right there. So we're seeing left front brake went out on him. That means, if we look right now, one more time, it literally was, because I can look right here, right now, go back, I think it was right front brake. Yes, it was right front. Right front. Somewhat right front brake went out. And you hit that wall. Slide it all the way into turn 6 at 90 miles an hour. Even you had a camera there too. I can show NASCAR this evidence over and over. I can look at the car indoor car cams and find it. Let's see here. There's a camera right there. Right in the back. Clearly right about there. Sorry for the glare, but it's there. It's literally right between those two, right there. So, straight up, that's right there you could find. Look at the in-car cameras. Boom. Your answer. So, yeah. Overall, it's right there in front of you guys. It's clear daylight. Because I know you guys would want to get to the white flag, call out. But when Cody brake was out, he was stuck into that wall head on. I can explain it all that I want, more and more. I can explain what you need to do with these next gen cars. One, probably worked on the cars before we go look at the car before we go into our next road course racing, and that's be walking. We right now going into Noma, so that race we have to deal with. But for you NASCAR, I'm gonna say this. Before we go to our next strict course, whenever in our future, if we go to San Diego, I want you to look at Cody's rear crash. We're going into Chicago, coming in from Chicago. This is what I want you guys to do here. We need, what can we improve on these walls? What can we improve on these walls? On these cars? Prevent that from happening again. Because, literally, Cody Ware went into that wall at 90 miles an hour. Right on board. I watched the replay. You got the replay. You got all those replays. Right there. I can go on your podcast if I want to talk about, and right there, and your answer is right there in front of you. I'll give you your answer right in front of you. Even what you even with explanatory. When you get rain on the track, first drip, you had a 32-second pause right there. What do you think? Okay, can he move? Clearly, at that speed, when you saw, people had recorded that too on their Instagrams too. Look at that too. People recorded that wreck too. So even if you had two officials around turn 6, 2 officials in turn 6. Pew! Right into the wall, right behind him. What if those 2 officials did? What do? They could have called to you guys. We need the caution out ASAP. That was your answer right there. Instead of 32 seconds. I mean, you would have to get to the white flag, see what he would move, but no, he would not been moved. He was deep into the same thing. Same thing what like you did is how? In the wet weather. This is when you were racing on the dry track. Dry asphalt, when you race on your dry. If even right now, if you look at Kyle Busch, back in 2015, his nationwide race, you guys had to put safety barriers into the wall, tire barriers in front of the infield wall where he wrecked at 2015 in that Daytona. Broken his leg. All right. Turn 6, Cody Ware could have had the same thing too. Broken leg. Or maybe car crushed him somewhat, hurt his back in that wreck too. Maybe a concussion, don't know. But like I say, NASCAR, look at the car. I know you made a machine. By hand, by you guys. Everything's strict for all that. But I want you to think here. How can we prevent that again for our next street course race? Because right now, we may not go back to Chicago, but maybe somewhat replace on the 4th of July race. I know you have the big deal with the 4th of July race. I mean, I used to love when you guys raced at Daytona. But sometimes you guys had to change stuff around. I mean, Indianapolis, too, could do that again. That's something, too. Could move Indianapolis from late in July to 4th of July. Good race. Crown Jewel event. Or maybe go back to the under the lights of Daytona. Have Indianapolis as the final race in this regular season, too. Because, I mean, you race in the daytime at Indianapolis. There's that answer. Fighting for positions. Okay. But what I will see, what you guys, and I know your short track's got some problems. You need to work on that. But I want to see something here. I'll tell you guys what you guys can put right there. Bring back Chicagoland with the intermediate cars, what we have right now. Right now we have the intermediate cars so damn good on the intermediates. I would say put Chicagoland on the 2026 schedule and race as that the final race. Then we head to Darlington as the championship race. As our playoffs. Bring Daytona back into the 4th of July. Back to 4th of July. People will come there. You have a big old boom of vacation people coming there. For the Coke Zero 400. I know you have it right there as the stage final in it at Daytona. But if you want the result for the playoffs entrance to improve that, try to get it all hyped up with going into, because right now from Darlington where we begin at, I say put Chicagoland, because you want to stay with the Chicagoland market, because we left Chicagoland market since 2019. After 2019, we didn't went back in 2020. So I say bring back Chicagoland because that will be good for your in-season schedule. Big boom. Right at the end of August. Big old hype. Under the lights of Chicago. Bam. Damn. Right there. Improvement. Right into the playoffs entrance. Then, when we hit the Darlington, we have Darlington. Then, if we bring Walking Glens too, Walking Woods was okay for the playoffs. I would say put Chicago in as the end season. Right there. In season regular championship. Because that track right now is 21 years old. That track is still since 21, almost 24 years old on that asphalt. That asphalt is 24 years old. Going to be turning 25 years. 25 years since Chicago opened up. I say bring back Chicagoland. Right there. Put it at the in-season championship. Even you have Kentucky right now, a hiatus. Both tracks are a hiatus. You went back to Rockingham too. Let's say that. And Rockingham went back to sell. So, since we have 6 road courses, we went back international since the 50s. I say probably bring because right now we have the Bowman Gray Stadium at. So what I say, why don't we go back? Maybe to Canada, maybe to Road America, to Canada or Walking Glen. Not Walking Glen. The tracks right now that they brought back, the Redact Revival group brought back, is North Rexboro, Richmond, Rockingham, are those 2 tracks. I mean, with the cup cars going to Rockingham, I see it's going to be a little struggle for the guys who race there. Even with the old school guys race there. Look at Kyle Busch. He knows that track layout. Somewhat old school guys race that track layout. Even Kyle Larson raced that track layout. He still knows it. Probably put Rockingham in the 2026 schedule. I mean, they have it set for one of you guys, SMI, or you guys buying it back. Even with Chicagoland. Chicagoland's got a lot of. It's not that bad. I just need grass cut. Basically, seam into the tracks, fill in the cracks. Chicagoland, 25 years old. We're coming up to 25 years old of Chicagoland. 25 years of Chicagoland. I would see that on the schedule. Chicagoland. I would see Rockingham there, too. I mean, I would love to see, what's it called? Since celebrating 75 years, was last year, I would see 25 years of Chicagoland, the 25 years of Chicagoland, on that track, on the schedule for 2026. We got rid of Autos Club. We don't know what the Southern California, what we have from that market. I would love to see Chicagoland celebrate its 25 years as the race finals season. Bring in a big bang, upset race. Even, I would love to see that right now. I mean, if we go to international race next year, maybe back to Mexico, we don't know. But, somewhat, I would love to see NASCAR go to Chicago, Canada, maybe, Circuit de Ville, where the last time Xfinity raced, since 2012. See that. Now, if NASCAR go race at the Cup Series race at that track, they're going to be brutal hell right now, going into the hairpin, going into the final into the hairpin, and then you got that S's going too. That would be a good race there too for internationals. Even I would see some of that stuff too. Even improve the cameras angles. Probably put somewhat a road course camera down in, like, if you watch the cars fling by and have a brake roll up on them right there in front of you. That's where you could find the cars and save it. Right there. Bring back that camera on the wall. You know, phew, 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 sling by. I'd like to see that again. Up close shot. Even that will work too. That car camera. Chris Brocher got your evidence on his in-car camera. Right there, because he was right close to Cody Ware. Maybe about a half a car, maybe about about a car length behind. So basically right there. But overall, your evidence is right there. Your answer will be right there in Chris Brocher's car. In-car camera. Right there. So yeah. So yeah. What we can improve is, what can we improve the brakes from exploding? But they're going to keep on exploding somewhat. What can we improve? Prevent that happening going into, if we go back to another street course. Because right now I heard you guys are talking about going to San Diego, but we don't know about San Diego. I'll wait for that in the future. Even right now we have Daniel Suarez going out of Trackhouse. We don't know what team he's going to go to. Because he's not been doing hot at Trackhouse since the debut. Won his first cup race at Sonoma. I would see him probably at a better team. Because what we're seeing here, maybe some drivers going impairment, maybe he going part-time, we don't know. Because we have, what's it called? 2311 getting a fourth car here soon. I would see Daniel Suarez maybe in one of those third car charters from Trackhouse. Not Trackhouse, not Trackhouse, from Rick Ray Racing. See those guys. That third charter. Because right now you see 2311 want to get a fourth car. Same with Legacy Motorsports, third car. Even so yeah. Daniel Suarez has got some skills, or maybe he can go into Xfinity, race there for a little bit, improve his skills like Cole Custer did before he came back, improved. And Cole Custer's still the same, but Cole Custer's been proving a lot better. So, see him right there. Or, I would see him running his old school, or he's probably back to Mexico City. We don't know. Daniel Suarez now became a United States citizen, so we got that answer. But teams will be leaving, drivers will be changing. We don't know. Kyle Busch still be coming up here in about 20 minutes from now. Not 20 minutes, 35 minutes from now. He's going to be going live here for 1 o'clock on track out on Sirius XM. I'll be calling them, asking them a question. Ask him a good question. So, yeah. Even the Xfinity race, we got that race too. was good because Sonoma's going to be crazy shenanigans. Now with HGG running at Sonoma, if he wins his first Cup race at Sonoma, what we're seeing here is a back-to-back road course racing. The only guy who won back-to-back road course racing, I think, was back in. I think was the last time was back in somewhat. I think Gordon went. I think the last time Gordon, I think it was Tony Stewart or Gordon. Let me see here. So basically, the last. Basically, overall, it'll be the last time since Christopher Bell went back to back. No, we had. Because we had two road courses racing. Because we're going straight to Chicago. Because I think we never. So it was Tyler Reddick won back-to-back road courses. That was the last time, 22. Road America and Indianapolis road course racing. So, can SVG wins that too? But overall, it's a lot of work. So yeah, right now, NHRA will. So our other news is NHRA will be back in 2 weeks, going for the Northeastern Finals. There you have that. What else? Bowman moved on. So now we have all the guys. Because playoffs right now, we have 30 guys right now fighting for a title. Ryan Hurts, Todd Gillen, Cole Custer, Ty Dillon, and Noah Gregson. 6 drivers below are fighting for a playoff spot. Basically, 30 drivers. 32 eligible drivers can race into that for a championship. But overall, it's a lot of work. So we're going to Sonoma. Can Tyler Reddick come back, win that race? Or what else? Because right now, we have Ryan Truex coming back for Dover. And then from Dover, we got a lot. But right now, overall, it's something. 52 minutes ago, Steve Letera talked about Chicago calling a race is easy thing to pick on. But what I see, Kaplan had a pretty good race overall. So it's any IndyCar driver coming in NASCAR since Danica Patrick the last time. NHRA's got a lot of work right now coming into them. Eric Anderson's got a lot of work she got to regain. Because after Norfolk's in Ohio, she's got points she's got to regain. So Tony Stewart leads the overall points in top fuel. So Erica is right now in 12th on the outside after that major incident she had. She's about 164 out of the points and 12 for the playoff round. Greg Anderson leads the overall points. Dallas Green is right behind him. Plus, with the pro stocks, top funny car, Austin Prox, it's about 127 above Jack Beckman. And followed by Paul Lee, Ron Capps, Matt Kagan, all those guys. Because we're coming in here, once we get to the halfway mark at NHRA in the NASCAR Cup Series, it's all locked in. With Tony Stewart, right now, he's got his hands full. Tony Stewart's got his hands full with Sean Longin and Justin Haley. Those two guys are about... Sean is about 52 behind Tony Stewart. Same with Justin Haley, 77 points behind. And Sean Reed is right now on the outside of the playoff bubble, is inside the playoff bubble with Jasmine 100 points behind him. Plus, right now, we've got our next schedule for those guys are the Northwestern Finals. They will be starting here soon. Basically, they're going to be busy at Pacific Raceway. So, they're going to be that. And then after that, they're heading to Sonoma. Basically, after Sonoma race, Sonoma's got to get their self-schedule away. Because they have to change everything up. Get everything set up for NHRA coming there. For their nationals. And, then we'll be going to Lucas Oil, to Minnesota, then from Minnesota to Indianapolis. So yeah, it's gonna be a heck on wheels. Plus, all heck, it's gonna be playing because overall, this right now, we're going in Sonoma with NASCAR. This is what we have to focus on. What can we focus on? So yeah. What I gave you NASCAR, there's your answer. What can you guys improve on? So yeah, my name is Joseph, aka Florida Boy NASCAR News. So if you're ready, stick to the throttle. So overall, it's going to be heck. We're going into playoffs now. So here soon. So yeah. With Dover, after these two road courses, the rest won't be until Walking Glen in August and following by this Roval in Charlotte. So it's going to be heck on wheels. So get ready. It's going to be hell on wheels for NASCAR. Like and subscribe. So overall, it'll be good. My name is Joseph, Florida Boy NASCAR News. So get ready. Keep your foot on the throttle. And wait till you see that checker flag. I'm out of here.